environmental costs of climate change, etc. And the one sort of underpinning argument for New Zealand is that we will face severe economic costs if we do not take strong action on climate change. Now, the first point I would like to make is that I'm very glad that Nick, in your PowerPoint, you acknowledged the importance of our clean green brand. Now, in the 2008 report by the Ministry of Tourism, they said that this is paramount to maintaining tourist numbers in New Zealand, and at least the estimate I saw back when I looked on the page last year was that the tourism industry is 10% of New Zealand's GDP. Now, a good way to maintain tourist numbers and to maintain this image of a clean, green New Zealand, particularly when everyone's aware of their emissions, when everyone's trying to reduce their carbon footprint, a good idea would be to say New Zealand is committed to, say, 40% reductions by 2020. People will be more swayed to come to a country which is taking real action, and it actually looks like it's taking not just real but extraordinarily significant and strong action. Now, the second point I'd like to make is, for example, the issue of trade. Now, we've all heard about the issue of food miles, which has arisen recently, and since many of our economic markets rely heavily on exports, many people buying from, say, for example, in the United Kingdom, there's been active advertising against imported goods. Now, a good way for us to actually push against the bad image of our exported food would be to say, once again, we're taking very strong, significant action on climate change. So, as has been pushed by almost everyone here, 40% by 2020. I would like to say that we are in line in taking this action with parts of the United Kingdom, for example, Scotland, which has recently committed to a 42% reduction by 2020. Germany, which has committed to a 40% reduction by 2020. And, for example, the UK, who hasn't made it to that far yet, they're currently on 34% by 2020. But we will not be leading the way if we take strong action. We will be joining the rest of the world if we take strong action. Now, the third point I would say is that, for example, the IPCC recently said that in order to avoid catastrophic climate change, the world has to make cuts by, I believe, 60% by 2050. And I would say our action has to fit in with that. And of course, their estimates were 60% being the minimum action required to avoid catastrophic action, to avoid catastrophic climate change. And so once again, I would say that if we're going to actually meet this minimum set by the IPCC, we need to commit to strong actions by 2020. Thank you.